You may have wondered at some point what kind of stuff animals get into when we're not around. There are moments when trail cams are lucky enough to capture more than just animals doing funny stuff. From alien sightings to ghost reports, here are some of the craziest things seen on a trail cam. The ghost in the woods. A ranch foreman in western Montana captured an unusual scene on one of his trail cameras. Is it a ghost, an alien, or just a strange shimmering figure? You make the decision. A Montana hunter believes he captured an alien or other extraterrestrial life form on one of his trail cameras. The photographs were obtained by Red Gate hunter Donald Bromley. The location is particularly near Deer Lodge. That community is located 36 miles north of Butte on I-90. Who knows if Bromley's friends were playing a prank on him, but previous tales regarding extraterrestrial life have pointed to that location. Montana is one of the top 5 states in terms of UFO sightings per capita. Another important website, Humanities Montana, stated that the state is home to a number of the most prominent, well-documented, and intriguing UFO reports in UFOlogy history. Bromley spoke about a video he made 2 years ago this July. The man recorded a bizarre ghost-like figure, which gained worldwide attention from paranormal experts. After scrutinizing the image, the man claims it is an alien, and he can swear by it. It's simply incredibly rich in the paranormal realm, the man remarked, referring to UFOs, lights in the sky, and other mysterious phenomena. What should an alien look like? To begin, it resembles what Bromley captured, a humanoid with long limbs and a bulb-like head. Bromley refers to the translucent form as bear. Montana has experienced UFO reports throughout its history. Residents in Great Falls spotted 2 spinning objects and photographed them. Witnesses also reported seeing UFOs at Minuteman missile silos in Montana in the 1960s. Additionally, residents claimed that the U.S. Air Force covered up this event and did not release any information. Bromley said the Redgate area has strange things happen on occasion. That area was a site where a homesteader killed his family and painted the property's front gate with their blood. What's more interesting is that other area residents have witnessed really bizarre objects flying in the sky. Other phenomena included stalling cars on roads. Filmmaker Patrick Cutler backs Bromley's paranormal experiences. He told the TV station he was making a film inspired by the area and its dark history. Together with Bromley, he said many area residents experience mysterious events. Animals react to seeing themselves in a mirror. When a French photographer decided to set up a camera and a huge mirror in the middle of the jungle, he did not know what he was getting into. The idea was to see how several animals would react to their reflection, and he definitely got more than he expected. While the leopard in the video could not get enough of looking at himself in the mirror, the gorilla had other plans. Being the aggressive creature that it is, the silverback thought it was an excellent opportunity to teach his mere self a lesson and show who is the better fighter. Meanwhile, the elephant didn't seem bothered to see itself in the mirror. The chimpanzees, however, managed to steal the show. They all wanted to see their appearance while doing different things, like scratching themselves and jumping all over the place. From the looks of it, the chimpanzees are the only ones in the jungle who know how to really love themselves. While you may think these animals are a bit dumb for not knowing how they look in a mirror, you really can't blame them. It's not every day you see something as strange as an animal copying your every move. Bear fight. When humans are not around in the wild, unbelievable things happen in nature, particularly among animals. We always wondered how they behave or act while we're not around, which is why trail cameras were invented. Aside from shooting footage and photographs of unseen wildlife, trail cameras are also used to spot elusive animals that appear only at certain periods of the year, or to examine how far a certain animal species travel. Trail cameras have already acquired many wonderful nature footage, which is why many nature enthusiasts continue to set one up during their visits to the wild to view unusual and rare interactions. This scary trail cam video of 2 large black bears having what appears to be a territorial conflict is one of many remarkable videos captured by trail cameras. We wouldn't call it that because bears aren't really territorial. They typically battle to establish dominance or to defend a food supply. There are 2 black bears in the short 30-second trail cam footage. However, one is brownish in color with darker arms and faces. This is a cinnamon bear, which is a subspecies of the American black bear. In the video, the 2 black bears charged at each other with their enormous arms and power. They continued to assault each other until the cinnamon bear somewhat outweighed the darker bear, knocking it down for a few seconds before it stood back up and repaid the favor by throwing punches at the cinnamon bear. The darker bear remained aggressive while the cinnamon bear calmed down as they circled a tree, waiting for the right moment to charge again. The tension decreased as they circled the tree, and the two black bears decided to end the fight by going back on all fours and resolving their issue. The trail cam footage demonstrates how powerful and robust black bears can be, and how these battles in the wild are rare yet fascinating to witness. The Fresno nightcrawlers. Some call them the soul walkers, while others call them the nightcrawlers. It doesn't really matter what name you decide on, because this is going to be one of the creepiest videos you have laid your eyes on. This footage was recorded in California in 2011, showing two slick-like creatures walking slowly around the woods. One of them looks like a baby ghost, and the other looks like a mama ghost, or perhaps this bigger one is the dad. Well, whatever their relationship, these are probably some of the cutest ghosts we have seen in a while. The ghost family is simply enjoying a night stroll in the woods. Looking at them, one is reminded of Casper the friendly ghost. According to some online spiritual experts, these ghosts are souls that have died but are still trapped on Earth. What do you think about it? Camp invaders. Sometimes while camping, you get uninvited visitors. These can be anything from mosquitoes to coyotes if you're lucky. But if you're the type that attracts pure bad luck like this guy in the video, then you might be invaded by a hungry male lion and two of his lionesses. The man in the video was peacefully enjoying his night's rest when all of a sudden, he found himself surrounded by a small pride of lions. Talk about shock! It is quite smart of him to have decided to remain where he was and not try to run away or do something silly like that. It only looks like the lions were just being your regular curious animals. Seeing a bunch of strange objects in the middle of the jungle must have alerted their curiosity mechanisms. They didn't seem to have any intention of tearing up the human, though we can never say for sure. This is definitely one story the man would be telling for the rest of his life. The elk with a tire. It all started with a trail cam footage where an elk was recorded with a tire stuck around its neck. This strong elk carried this inconvenience around its neck for 2 long years, while it went about its usual life. Its antlers and neck had grown over time, and it became impossible for the elk to get rid of the tire by himself. When the footage was first released to the public, a bunch of wildlife officials were worried about him and decided to do something about this situation. They tranquilized him and tried to remove the tire, but unfortunately they had to cut off his beautiful antlers in the process. Hopefully this buck will soon grow a pair of stunning antlers again to show off to all the gals. The mouse deer. Nature is running out of places to hide as humans continue to expand on the Earth. Species thought to be extinct for decades are resurfacing on a regular basis, while science's increased access to nature's nooks and crannies is fueling a surge in the discovery of totally new ones. Vietnam has seen much more resurrections and discoveries than its fair share. It is a priceless mine of strange and amazing wildlife found nowhere else on the planet. However, poaching, habitat loss, and the illegal market are threatening the survival of many of these unique, rare plants and animals. For decades, the country's densely forested hills and unique mountain refuges have offered excellent cover for secretive species to thrive. The Annamite Mountains, which divide Vietnam and Laos, are home to a very unique evergreen forest sanctuary that survived the previous ice age, allowing numerous uncommon plants and animals to evolve in isolation. One of these rarities has resurfaced after being deemed extinct by science: the silverback mouse deer, a tiny deer-like creature the size of a large rabbit with little fangs, a grizzled coat, and a white stripe running down its underbelly. Was discovered more than 100 years ago, but went unnoticed for the next 80 years. The species had been extinct for over 3 decades, but the world was shocked when it saw footage of one alive and healthy. This clip might be a little short, but in the few moments we get to see the mouse deer, we are allowed a brief look into the life of a breed that managed to save itself from the hunters and predators of the deep forest. A trail cam thief. This coyote was just taking a stroll through the woods when it stumbled upon a trail cam hidden in plain sight. This strange-looking object must have sparked an interest in the coyote as the animal began to move closer and closer to the camera. Soon it was straight up trying to grab the camera, and after a few smart attempts, the coyote succeeded in wrestling it free. It ran with the camera as fast and far as it could, like a predator running with its catch after a stressful hunt. The camera had a long and exhausting journey with the coyote, until it was eventually found by its rightful owner, even though it was badly bruised up and scratched. Sneak attack practice. We are all quite aware of lions being such sneaky and ferocious attackers, but how exactly do they practice these unique skills? Well, this video might give us a hint. In this rare footage captured on a trail cam, we get to see a young mountain lion caught in the act of practicing all the sneak attacks it needs to be doing the next day. We can't really say what it is trying to catch, but looking at it does remind us of our house cat's sneaking attempts to catch us by surprise. It's one hell of a cute mountain lion, we must say. Dancing bear. When this unsuspecting wildlife enthusiast put cameras in the jungle, he just wanted to get some quality footage of animals going about their daily lives while being themselves. What he did not know was that we would get to witness this bear swinging its bum and moving like a belly dancer in the woods. Now, bears get itchy at times, very much like humans. But unlike us, they scratch those hard-to-reach spots at their backs with trees. And boy, do they love doing that. I mean, look at this bear go! They sure are making me think about going out in the woods to give this tree scratch a try. Dobby the house elf. At some point in your lives, I'm sure you are all fans of Harry Potter and the mysterious fantasy world he lives in. Have you ever imagined what our world would be like if any of the things in those movies were actually true? After looking at this clip, it seems fiction might be closer to reality than we initially thought. This strange creature looks exactly like the house elf Dobby from Harry Potter. Are you starting to believe that there is a hidden world of magic somewhere unknown to us humans? Well, you might just be right. This creature looked like it was doing some sort of chicken dance. And by the looks of the movements and the thin legs of the creature, it most definitely was not a human being. The two-headed deer. Okay, we certainly don't know the context behind this bizarre occurrence, but it looks like this deer had one hell of a fight in the past. Isn't it just awesome how he wears the head of another deer as a crown? At first, it seems to be that way, but if you look closely, you might think again. Could it be another head that this deer has grown? What do you think? Nature can be a wild and exciting place sometimes. And nothing is really that far-fetched if you think about it. Let us know what your thoughts are about this two-headed deer. It could just be that we have found a new species of mutant deer. Breathing earth. This unusual occurrence was seen on a trail cam when the earth was recorded moving up and down like it had just finished doing 30 long minutes of cardio. It was probably tired from all the continuous spinning and orbiting of the sun. This strange but common phenomenon is known as breathing earth. And it happens when the ground becomes a little too loose, and the wind is blowing stronger than usual. This increase in wind speed causes the earth to move up and down like it is breathing. Can you imagine how someone would react if they suddenly had an encounter with this phenomenon without knowing anything about it? Surely they would think it was the end of the world, which would without a doubt be one of the most terrifying incidents of their lives. If it were you, you might actually believe the earth is about to swallow you up. This definitely goes right up there with one of the craziest things a trail camera has ever captured. Humanoid creature. When a man in Kentucky uploaded this video on Facebook, people were absolutely shocked to see that the man's front yard was being invaded by a bright and gaunt humanoid creature. From the looks of it, this creature looked like it was eager to pounce on the first prey it came across. It moved slowly across the area and stooped down with its backbone and arms forward. When the video was shown on television, everyone was stumped. No one was able to identify it, although one Twitter user said they also saw a similar creature sprinting across their neighbor's lawn. Another user also came forward to say something about seeing the same kind of monster vanish into the forest. It seemed like this wasn't the first time this creature was visiting that area. Raccoons versus deer. Raccoons are known for annoying the hell out of humans. But did you know that these garbage busters are also quite skilled at irritating other animals? Let's look at one example where these small thieves were stealing from the deer's laid-out food. At first, the deer didn't mind sharing a bit of its food, but after a few hours and a few more raccoons, the deer finally reached its limit. The hungry buck decided to take matters into his own hands because the food supply was rapidly diminishing. However, the raccoons continued to come back even after the buck tried to use its antlers to scare them away. Their characteristic persistence eventually left the deer feeling rather overwhelmed. This led to a small war over the food. In the end, the deer and the raccoon decided to reach a compromise and share the food amongst themselves. Bobcat versus rattlesnake. Hang on to your seat for this one. It's gonna be a real nail-biter. Bobcats are wild cat species that hunt and eat various animals. This one, however, got caught on a trail cam when it had to face a rattlesnake while going somewhere. The brave bobcat made sure to kill it before moving on with what it was doing in the first place, even though we all have to agree that it took a lot of effort from those claws before it managed to crush the snake's head. That was one brutal fight we would not forget anytime soon. Those annoying snakes have finally met their match. The chicken thief. It was late at night and nobody seemed to be around to intervene. So this bear decided to have a late night snack. Just beside it there was a locked chicken coop, so the big brave bear decided to try and break into it. Most of its initial efforts were ineffective, so the bear decided to do what it knew how to do best. It decided to eat up the door. While it was in the process of tearing down the door, the bear suddenly heard a strange noise. This strange voice startled it, and its animal instincts decided it was time to flee the scene as quickly as possible. Though all this might seem strange, there is a reasonable explanation. What actually happened was that when the chicken owner woke up in the middle of the night, she decided to look out the window. To her surprise, she saw a huge black bear trying to get into her chicken coop. Immediately, she opened the window and shouted at the bear from a safe distance. Hearing the strange noises, the bear decided it was best to make a run for it. Who wouldn't? Buck sheds its antlers. This deer buck in Ontario, Canada was caught red-handed on a trail camera while trying to shed its antlers. Now, this action might look weird to those who don't know about it, but it's something that is quite common in the deer community. All male bucks shed their antlers during winter to make room for the growth of new and stronger antlers in the next season. This process of shedding begins late in winter and continues till early spring.
Both of them at the same time, boom, fell off.
Even then, it's quite surprising to see how it looks like the deer was so weirded out by the experience that it had to quickly run away in shock. Cute rabbit smackdown. In the rabbit community, this fight might be hailed as one of the most brutal showdowns in history. But seeing these two buddies trying to have a fist fight just looks cute. We can't help but think about how adorable it is that these cute creatures are trying to have a brawl while hopping around. However, this doesn't mean you should interfere when you see two rabbits settling their differences. We mean, who knows? You might end up getting a punch in your face too. Wolf mama calls pups. Wolf mommies, the terminology used by the most sophisticated biologists, call their pups out of the den with a whimper or a whine. You can hear it in this video and see how the pups react. Often they call the pups out to feed and interact with them. Not much space in a den like this for 6 pups and an adult wolf. This clip was taken from a den in the Lightfoot Pack in 2020. The den appears to be an old habitation in a prehistoric forest. We won't lie, it appears to be a great sight. And while the den appeared large from the outside, it was actually pretty little. Nevertheless, Lightfoot's 6 pups squeezed in there just fine. They are all safe and sound now, thanks to Mommy's ever-watchful eye. Aren't they just the cutest things you ever saw? Did you enjoy these crazy videos? Be sure to subscribe because we have more of them coming up. See you next time!